I saw the Nintendo Switch Direct for the Nintendo Switch 2, and at first, I was excited for some new games coming out. I mean, well, some. I mean, it's nice to see that Donkey Kong is back. It's nice to see that we're getting more Metroid. You know, I really love to get the new Metroid game. It's it's gonna be insane. Was not really excited for the new Mario Kart. It's just Mario Kart, but with additional shit added into it. Like, open world, sure, you're gonna be adding in all 4 carts, or tracks, into a single cup. So you have to go through them one by one, and still stay in the race, and not having to wait every damn time for the next race in each cup. No, you're going through them bit by bit, with each world that we're putting in. Hollow Knight Silk Song this year, baby! Yes, but, how do I put it? Oh, God. How do I really put this? It looks half-assed. You know, I'm just gonna say it here and now. What was shown for the Switch 2? Like, I wanted to see some specs for it, to see how different it is compared to the first. There was nothing shown. So we gotta wait until its actual release for someone to even find out what the specs are for this barely bigger size, like 1.7-inch bigger increase of size for the Switch 2 compared to the first Switch. We got 2 months. But, I am not happy with how they priced their shit, so we're gonna let someone else take a look into it and explain, give their point, along with me giving my point as well, because literally it's just so bad. We're gonna be taking a look at OhNoItsAlexx on why he thinks the Switch 2 is a scam, in which I have to just agree. The price? Insane. I mean, you're costing this much for a Switch 2, or even more for a bundle with Mario Kart World. Get out of here, Nintendo. Just get out. Especially when they never lower their prices at all worth a damn. They just never do. So, let's begin.
The great exposing is about to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you gotta love it. That's right. Yesterday, we saw the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. And honestly, I was on board for kind of most of it, actually. It looked pretty good. A lot of the problems that the Switch 1 had, Nintendo was directly listening to feedback about and fixing those things.
Yep.
So we're getting multiple games from other third-party developers and publishers. Things are being put into play. A lot of great stuff was being shown. And then you slowly begin to see how they were going to nickel and dime you for every possible red cent, as so many bootlickers on Twitter, YouTube, and etc. are now putting themselves into pretzels and spreading them open like goatsy, as Nintendo is crawling in elbow deep, pulling out every red cent from their tonsils from the opposite end.
Nah, I agree there. I've taken a look at the prices for not only some of the games that have been shown, like the new Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, along with the consoles, and everything else that they are giving, the accessories, the controllers, the camera, the dock, basically anything you want to get, like even a carry case or an all-in-one carry case. They are going to nickel and dime everything.
Is magical to see how people are literally twisting themselves, trying to give any sort of excuses to the reason why Nintendo is now charging you for every conceivable thing happening on this console. They were the last bastion. They were the ones left. We were thinking to ourselves, Nintendo would never turn into Microsoft or Sony or every other publisher that we've known to man. They sell tons of millions of copies of games. They don't have to do all the microtransactions and nickel and dime like everybody else does. They're the good guys. Well, I guess nowhere is safe from the actual amount of greed from every corporation on this planet now, is there?
No. No, there's certainly not. There is literally no room in this world where there is no greed. There cannot be one single company that has to be ever so greedy to just nickel and dime every single cent from you. We already have EA and 2K trying to put in so many different microtransactions, especially with EA, with all the loot boxes, all the card packs, all this complete idiocy that they are trying to bullshit people into buying. Especially with all these different upgraded packs of games that you could buy for more stuff or very little, compared to other games where you can get a upgraded pack and you can get DLC for this. Like Elden Ring, if you wanted to get the game and the Shadow of the Earth tree for $80. That's a good price. But for anything else, anything that's more new, we're starting to increase the price of up to $70, $80, hell, $90. People wanting to spend $100 on GTA 6? Why? Why would someone go out of their mind for a base game? Base game, mind you, for $100. Who would want that? Who is going to want that? Not me. Not me. I do not want to be spending $100, 80 or 90 for a base game alone. No, that is a scam. That is a flat-out scam. Let's carry on.
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
So let's do this. Let's go quickly over what happened during the Direct. And during that, we're going to get my hot takes about the entire thing, because truly it has been a magical thing to witness. One of the only companies left in video games that was truly giving you the ability to actually buy your game, own it, literally just throw that up in flames right in front of you, and people are still saying things like, I'm still going to buy your product.
Yep.
Fantastic. Friend of the channel, Hazardor Gaming, made a fantastic tweet thread saying this: the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct of 2025, Mario Kart World coming exclusive to the Switch 2 and launches with the Switch 2 on April 17th. Great. Switch 2 game chat.
Wait. I thought it was June 5th. Wait. Launches with Switch 2 also Direct April 17th. What? What? April 17th? What the hell? That's not what I saw. That's not the release date. Unless that's early access.
A horrible version of Discord.
Oh yes, chat with others in-game for the game chat, yeah. When I saw this, when I literally saw this on the Direct, I literally said to myself, and to a friend that I later was talking to on Discord, it literally looked like a very worse version or a complete knockoff of Discord. The game chat, it was just really bad. Like if you're trying to look at another friend playing their game, the quality, the frames per second looked awful. it looked awful. Compared to Discord, it could vary. But at best, you would see that their gameplay is quite smooth and having a good amount of frames. Compared to what I saw on the Direct, it looked abysmal. It looked half-assed.
Applied to the Switch too. They could have just put Discord onto the Switch to make things easier, but
they could have.
We'll talk about Switch 2 game chat in a moment as well, because that's going to be an interesting concept to talk about. There's also chatting with others in game, a built-in microphone, which you know is going to sound like actual garbage.
It is.
Game screen sharing and etc. Oh, yes. All the things that Discord already has, but the difference is now you actually need to pay for online for the Nintendo Switch online service to in fact use game chat. They made a button specifically designed to give you all these options. Instead of just putting it into the game directly, you have to now pay for access to that and then use that there.
How is this not showing that Nintendo's greedy? Because it clearly does. You need an internet access. You need to pay for Nintendo Switch Online in order to use this said feature. When Discord is clearly for free and they are trying to monopolize on this. Nintendo clearly shows their greed by doing this. And you can also add on a camera for $50. 50 for a measly, cheap looking camera.
The better part is coming up, because now they also added an extra accessory for your Switch 2. No, I'm not kidding. The Switch 2 camera. Yes, the Kinect is back, ladies and gentlemen. What are we doing here? What are we actually doing here? We're literally going around and we're sitting in Teams meetings all day anyways, removing the background of what we're trying to do, adding a $100 peripheral, which is a camera which nobody is going to want to use, as you've got your friends screaming every expletive under the sun while they're playing Mario Kart World Tour on your big screen TV because they want to use the voice chat. That's going to be a great time now, isn't it? You know, somebody somewhere, there's going to be the inability for someone to contain themselves, and there are going to be people getting caught on camera with this thing specifically. It's going...
Oh, he is so right. He is so right. Oh, the amount of possibilities of what you could possibly see in this shitty feature of a knockoff of Discord, bootleg Discord, where you have to pay to use it. Oh, the amount of possibilities of what you may possibly see is just out of this world. And the obscenities, the slurs, just the swearing that you're going to be hearing going on when you have this active. Oh my god. It is it is going to backfire so hard. It is just going to backfire so hard. Oh, it's gonna be so bad. It's just gonna be so bad. Like you wouldn't believe it.
To be a nightmare and a disaster. It's just gonna be, it is what it is. It's gonna happen. This is gonna be like the Sony Playroom era where everybody was just doing copious amounts of while they were talking to each other with the camera. Yeah.
Yep.
Here it is, part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Congrats.
Yep.
But besides the stupid $100 additional camera, which you know is going to get abused, and there's going to be a lot of issues happening with it, there have been some good additional camera, which you know is Electric Boogaloo. Congrats. But besides the stupid $100 additional camera, which...
It's $50, but I don't know where he got 100 from. But yeah, that thing looks like a shoddy piece of shit that you could easily replace with any other better camera that has USB connected to it. And you could use that. That's way better. You could use a way better camera than what you can get from the Switch. Or for the Switch 2. It's so bad. But yeah, they're trying to add in 120 FPS. Yeah, people are going to be the judge of that. People will see if it can really give off 120 FPS. But oh wait, I forgot. It's only for select games. It's only for select games. It's not for everything.
Is going to get abused, and there's going to be a lot of issues happening with it. There have been some good things as well. The Switch 2 launches June 5th, 2025.
Yep.
They increase the storage to 256 gigs, which is all right, I guess. I would have
Yeah.
preferred 512. 3D audio, 2 USB-C ports, thankfully, one on top and one on bottom. The Joy-Cons can be used as a mouse now, so that's kind of wild. I mean, wouldn't it be kind of weird if they just put their games on PC anyways?
You know they're never gonna do that. You know that Nintendo is gonna be greedy as all hell. They're not gonna give a shit. There is no way that they would ever even dare think about trying to use their games for PC. They would never do that. Oh, PlayStation and Xbox? Sure, that would be perfectly fine. Oh, but the moment you try and add in Nintendo into the bunch for being on PC, oh, that's where they're gonna draw the line. They would never fucking dare do it. They're too much of a complete pansy ass to even dare think about doing it. Because, oh, we got all these mods. We got so many good stuff that we could add into the games. It would give them so much more money if it were added onto PC. But knowing them, they won't do it. They won't. They never would. They never will.
That'd be kind of cool if you think about it. It has up to 4K on dock mode, which is actually just them upscaling it using NVIDIA DLSS, a 7.9-inch LCD screen at 1080p, and 120 FPS and HDR. It's not going to be OLED. And those specifics
Why not?
Make everything...
It really should be OLED. I mean, honestly, I would rather be getting a Steam Deck than a Switch 2. I really would. I would be getting a terabyte of space for a Steam Deck than this. I'm sorry, but it's true. I would.
Everything look really good. It's actually not too bad if it was just those things specifically, which is what's going on with the hardware. However, though, there have been some concerns as well. We're going to talk about those now. You see, the Switch 2 game card size is about the same, actually. Now, with the micro SD card slot, you can only use micro SD Express cards. They're not proprietary, but you have to buy a new format of micro SD. The regular format won't work, unfortunately, with the Switch 2, which is kind of odd because my Steam Deck can do both, and it really doesn't make any sense why they would do that. And on top of that, the new Switch carts are actually faster to read and write data from. So I guess you could say something about that as well, but that's going to be a fun part later on about the carts. Don't worry. There's also the new Pro Controller too, which is probably going to be another $100. And of course, the system transfer
about 80
option.
or 90.
Game-wise, things are looking kind of wild. Elden Ring Tarnished Edition.
Oh my god, I really want to get back into playing Yakuza games. I mean, I have just about every Yakuza game that I really want to play for all of you guys to see, especially with going through them in order. But oh man. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to at least do a new game plus on one. Just one. Any others? Sure, I'll do a new game for, but one of them I will not. I don't care. I am not going to be going through the abysmal bullshit that is Yakuza 3 Remastered. I will not. But yeah, Elden Ring, that was insane to see because I was not expecting that. Actually, I was, yeah. Yeah, I kind of would have been expecting Elden Ring. Hogwarts Legacy, yeah. I also want to play through that one as well for all of you. I really do, because I really want to get into it. And I don't care what anyone's going to say to me. If you want me to play it, that's fine. But if you don't, that's your own problem. If I want to play it, I will play it. Hades 2. I got both of the Hades games. They are really great. Well, the first one is. I still haven't gotten through the second one. Daemon X Machina. That's something I want to try. Split Fiction. That's interesting. Street Fighter 6, not really a big Street Fighter person. I really couldn't care about Street Fighter. EA Sports, FC, and Madden, God no. It's literally EA. So that's another console to get a lot of people into buying their microtransactions. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4, that was absolutely one of the most surprising games that I saw, especially with, I believe it's either, I want to say 4, where you can go to SpongeBob's Pineapple, or, well, Bikini Bottom, and have some fun under the sea. Bravely Default, oh my god, I want to play that so bad. I do have it on the Citra emulator, and oh my god, I played a bit of it. Oh my god, oh, oh my god, I was really excited. Oh man, I think I can get it on Steam, but I really want to get it so bad. Hitman, that's really surprising, but James Bond 007. It's good to see James Bond coming back. Oh, it's good to see James Bond again. And Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, I could say that's about $80 to $100 for a base game. Knowing Nintendo on the first 2 games, $80 or more. They're just gonna break the dam on the gaming market. They're just gonna break it. They're gonna pop it. And these sycophants, these shills, these crazy fans of Nintendo and all these others that are going to be wanting to buy games that are 70, 80, 90 or more, they are just going to ruin the pricing on new games on how much they should be. $60 was well enough, the minimum, or well, the base standard. $60 was the standard to me. Now, there are games that are $70, sure, because they offer more. They offer more to the game. Like Monster Hunter Wilds, for example, that offers so much for players. And it's Monster Hunter. It's one of the biggest series of games, one of the biggest franchises that there is. I could see it being $70 for Wild. But when it's going to be something new, having to be 80 or $90 or even more, that's base game that we're talking about. Base game. Not a special edition, not a premium, not a supreme. Base edition. Let that sink in your head. Do you really want that much for a base game? To me, no. It seems like a waste of money. Anything that's over, if it's going to be 80 or above, it's going to be a scam. To me, it feels like a scam. 60 or $70, it would depend, but I prefer 60. But if this is going to be how games are going to be priced at for Nintendo, since they never go on sale for some weird ass reason, I don't know why they never do it, unless it's like some kind of special thing going on where they will have their franchises like Metroid, Mario, anything of the sort, where it's going on sale. They will never do it. Unlike the other types of games that they do have, where they are on sale, but not a Nintendo franchise that they made. No Pokemon, no Mario, Metroid, shit like that. And especially when the GameCube is exclusively on the Switch 2. Nothing for 1, just the 2. Not worth it. To me, not worth it.
Yakuza 0, the full-on director's cut, Street Fighter 6 on the Switch, a brand new title by From Software called The Dusk Bloods, which is exclusive to the Switch as well. I would honestly consider to be the Bloodborne spiritual successor, which is really kind of funny because PlayStation From Software is so bad, they ran to Nintendo instead.
And I also quite hate how it's just going to be on the Switch 2 as well. It really could have been added onto Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox, but knowing Sony, how they literally fucked over Bloodborne, especially with the 10-year anniversary. The 10-year anniversary of Bloodborne. No remaster of Bloodborne for the PS5. It's not on Steam. Oh, this is gonna be abysmal to see. But if it's not gonna be coming out of anything else for a few years from the Dusk Bloods, if it's not gonna be on Steam or Xbox or anything like it, no, keep me away. I'm sorry. I would love to play Dusk Bloods, but I just can't. No, I'm not going to be wasting over $450 on a damn console. I already did for the PS5. I'm not doing it again for a Switch 2 that is only going to be getting like 120 for some specific games, and yet possibly even lower or the base frames that the Switch 1 had. It's not worth it to me.
In my opinion, though, this game shouldn't be exclusive.
It shouldn't.
At all. It should be on every single platform.
Thank you. He says it best. It should be on every console, not the Switch 2. People are going to be so pissed when they find that, or when they see it and notice it. If it's not going to be on anything else and only on the Switch 2, they are going to be pulling Bloodborne again. They're going to be pulling a Bloodborne.
We saw what happened with Bloodborne. It shouldn't be happening again now with the Switch either. Exclusivity
Exactly.
is always bad for the consumer. You're going to see even more so why after this, too.
Exactly. He says it best. It's going to hurt the consumer. It's going to hurt Nintendo if they don't have more people playing this game. If it's only going to be available on the Switch 2, it's not going to be worth it.
Turn your billion-dollar web app idea into reality with Hostinger Horizons. To start, just tell Horizons.
It's just not worth it. This really needs to be on more consoles. I just can't, man.
Oh, we're getting there. Don't worry. Hold on to your horses, baby. It's coming. Donkey Kong Bonanza coming out in July, Kirby's Air Ride, and Switch 2 Mario Kart bundle as well. Things look pretty great, right? You would think, hey, that's not too bad, Alex. What are you complaining about? The Switch 2 is going to be launching at $450, and with Mario Kart World at $500. Yeah, that's not really the price I would like to pay, but that's all. That's not that bad, right? I mean,
Yeah, if I want to be paying for another PS5, that's how much I would be paying. $450 or $500. Yeah, no thanks.
for an updated handheld with 1080p 120 hertz display, the Asus ROG Ally is like $600 for having that. That seems about right in line. Until you realize that Nintendo is now going to be charging $80 for digital games. I didn't stutter. No. I didn't think back and sit in my chair like, that's got to be a meme. Maybe they just forgot to change the pricing for the region. No. I'm serious. $80 for certain digital games for the Nintendo Switch 2.
Not worth it.
$90 for physical.
You heard him. 90 on physical. 80 on digital. Are we seriously doing this? This is not what I wanted. This is not. I certainly didn't want this. I saw Angry Joe go through it. He was not happy. This is a complete scam. Nintendo is literally pulling their hand, or shoving it, so far up their asses. They're just shoving it so deep that they just want to be EA. They want to be EA 2.0. That's just how it feels when looking at these prices for games, especially when people are collectors. They want to collect physical games and be able to play them without any problems. But now it's going to hurt them even further. But just wait until we see the different regions. Just think about the other regions as well, okay? Think about Australia, the UK, Europe. Just think about it. Especially with the tariffs that are going on as well. The tariffs. Just think about how much the prices are going to be. Just think for a moment. Is it really worth it after you thought about it for some time? Do you really think it's worth it? Because to me, I certainly do not. I don't.
Yeah. No, yeah. Almost $100 for certain Nintendo Switch games. Ah, God. Oh my God, dude. Can it get any worse? I submit to you that it can, because the Nintendo Switch 2 in Japan will sell for $330, $120 less than in the US.
I'm sorry, what? A Nintendo Switch, or Nintendo will sell a cheaper 330 Switch 2 in Japan that's region locked. It's confirmed. The multilingual Switch will cost more and only be available in Japan's My Nintendo store. You have got to be fucking around with me. $30 more than the original Switch! $30 more. Oh, but you have to say fuck you to the US, to the UK, to all of Europe, and possibly Australia even more if they want to buy this damn thing. I'm sorry, but Japan? No. Nah, Nintendo of Japan, you fucked up. You completely fucked everyone else and only saved your own asses. This is abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. Get out of here. Just... Why? You could have made US prices $350 or $400. But no, $450 to $500. A goddamn PS5 or Xbox price. You're literally pulling the fuck around and find out card. Not only for your console, but the games. You're pulling that card, Nintendo. You're pulling a serious red flag.
And it's going to be region locked, and it's been confirmed. So if you want a Switch that can do every language, you gotta pony up the $450. If not, guess you gotta learn how to read Japanese. Oh, but it still gets worse. You see, because the Switch 2 will also have a welcome tour game, which honestly looks kind of cool. It shows you all about the Switch itself, it lets you walk around and see all the features about it. You would think that would be part of the pack-in, right? Like, hey,
I would
what
have.
Astrobot was. Here's a cool little thing to recognize how great the Switch is. This is where everything started to fall apart with me as I was watching the Direct, because this game explains the tech and shows off the Switch 2. It has tech demos and mini games, and it is a paid digital-only launch title.
Yeah, no. When I saw that, I'm like, why? Why are you giving a tutorial on your entire console and you pay for it? This is literally EA 2.0. I swear to fucking God. They have seriously pulled that card and started waving it around. Look at us, Nintendo. Look at us. We're Nintendo. We're pulling the fuck around and find out card. We're waving this flag all around for people to see. We're gonna be shoving it so deep in people's asses that we're gonna be forcing them to pay for our shit. A literal tech demo. Tech demos and mini games for a tutorial for their own console. These are the literal greediest bastards I've ever seen in my life. And I thought it was bad enough with how they tried to get rid of Pal World and how they're continuing to try and patent certain game mechanics, which is literal bullshit. They are literally the biggest pussies I've ever seen. This is Nintendo for you. I cannot. I just cannot. Oh, Lord. This is just awful.
The game that shows you how to use the console, the features of the console, is a separate purchased product. Not even PlayStation did this.
They didn't.
PlayStation did this.
They didn't.
Nintendo said, hey, guess what? You want to learn how to use your console, have some mini games to play while you're sitting there waiting? Congrats, give us some more money because of it. We're also raising the price of the console. We're also going ahead and making you pay for online to have game chat and another $100 to have a camera, possibly another $100 for another controller, so that way you can go ahead and use all the features.
Oh no, it's $90 for a pair of Joy-Cons. It's $90. They are literally becoming EA at this rate. They are literally the second coming of EA.
Of this console. So now a handheld that was what, $450 is probably going to cost you around $600.
Yeah.
We're in the money. We're in the money, but it gets better. It truly gets better. Now, during the entire Switch 2 presentation, I began to see those little bits and hints of like what Nintendo was actually trying to do. And the best part was they were showing how the Switch 2 is in fact backwards compatible with all your previous Switch titles. And they've shown off PDFs and etc. of what games are compatible and which ones aren't, which is honestly kind of great. And they're being worked on. The thing is, though, I thought to myself, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I had a Switch game that I could just pop into my Switch 2 and it would automatically go ahead and work better because the hardware was already there? I mean, it's practically the same OS or the same UI. You would think it would just work, right? No, why would that be the case? You see, what Nintendo is now doing is they are offering Nintendo Switch 2 editions of Switch 1 games. So they are literally reselling you all of the old Switch games to a Switch 2 edition. Or if you don't want to buy the Switch 2 edition of the game, you can go ahead and get the upgrade pack for each game. You think, it's not too bad. What's the issue? Well, you have to pay for the ability of the Switch 2 to in fact get you better frame rate and resolution through the upgrade pack. You gotta pay for patches. You gotta pay for the patch to use the hardware that's better to make your game run better. Imagine if every time I bought a new GPU, I would have to pay the game company more money to access the features and better resolution and frame rate of the GPU I already bought. Again, not even PlayStation does this with PS5 Pro patches. But you know what? I bet they're going to be thinking about it now because the Nintendo's going to do it and get away with it. You know, everybody else will. So we've got paying for online to chat with your friends. We've got $80 digital games, $90 physical games. We've got... I'm like losing my mind. We've got upgrade packs to make your games run better on the Switch 2, or you buy the Switch 2 version at $80 for that game. Oh my God, dude. Oh, I'm crashing out. I'm crashing out, but we're not done.
We're not.
You thought I was done? No, we are not. We're not done. Because it turns out that if you have Nintendo Switch Online, then Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and the Switch 2 Edition updates are free when you pay their online service fee. So guess what? They're not free! If you're paying for the online service to get the update for the game that should have already had the update for free anyways, then they're not free because you're paying for the service. You're literally giving them the money twice, and they're saying you're going to pay for your own money. That's what you're doing.
You already do give them the money. You already give them the money twice. And they're saying, I'm gonna fucking get you to pay for your own money. You gotta pay for your own money.
Oh, the greed. But I'm not done.
We're not.
You thought I was done.
We're not.
I'm not done. Because like I said before, it's being reported that certain games on the Nintendo Switch are going to be costing
Yeah, that level of greed that they talk about in the Bible. You can't make this shit up.
$80 digitally and $90 physically. And it's not even the same across the board. Some games are 70, some games are 80, some games are 90. It's all over the place with this company. For some reason, Mario Kart World Tour is $80 digitally, but then the new Donkey Kong game where he's wearing pants, why he's wearing pants, I don't know, that's $70 digitally. So they're literally going ahead and telling you, the consumer, who says, I always buy physical because I like to collect my games, because collecting games is so cool on Nintendo because you own the game on the cart. You think you own the game? You think I'm gonna spend the $90 anyways and get the game? I'm gonna own that game. It's gonna be my game, right? That's what you think.
No, it's
You think
not.
you're gonna spend close to $100. You're gonna own that game.
You're not.
You've got a big storm coming.
Because I couldn't believe this myself, but it is in fact actually true. The Nintendo has confirmed on their own website that some Switch 2 games won't have the game on the cart, and the cartridge will only be used as a license to check the game that will then be needed to get downloaded. I thought this was fake.
Wait. I'm sorry. Let me look over this bullshit, please. I need my glasses here. Let me look over this absolute insane bullshit right here. Yes. There we go. Nintendo has confirmed that some Switch 2 games won't have the game on the cart. The cartridge will only be used as a license check, and the game will need to be downloaded. Game key cards are different from the regular game cards because they don't contain the full game data. Instead, the game key card is your key to downloading the full game to your system via the internet. After it's downloaded, you can play the game by inserting the game key card into your system and starting it up like a standard physical game card. Wait. So you don't own the fucking game. That's literally what I read. You do not own the goddamn game. You do not. If you have one of these game key cards, you don't own the fucking game. This is a scam. No, this is a goddamn scam. game key cards compared to a normal game card. This is a scam. It's a scam. They are literally becoming Ubisoft as well. Okay, so as you can see right here, this is literally telling you you're only able to download the game. You can only download it. We don't have everything. We just have the download. So you physically do not own the game. Why? You're not owning it. They are going to become Ubisoft. They are literally Ubisoft and EA. This is the highest amount of greed. They are becoming more greedy.
I was like, there's no way this is real. It has to be fake. Baby, it's 100% real. Look at this. Look at this. Switch 2 game card overview from Nintendo's own support website. They're literally showing you that there is full-on DRM on this device, flat out 100%. The physical copy that you buy will literally have a digital code or key to let you access to download the game. So you'll be giving them not $70, not $80, $90 for a physical empty cart that you will then put into your Switch to buy the game and play the game digitally. This is literally the Xbox One. That's what this is. This is literally just online DRM connectivity for the Xbox One, and you're paying $20 more than what games cost now that are AAA quality. How anybody on this earth is defending this, or even being like, yeah, it's Nintendo, I'll buy it anyways.
Why would anyone defend this? No one should defend this. This is a scam. No one should be defending this shit. Even if it's Nintendo.
Anyone who says that, you should stop listening to immediately. Because that is the most bullshit argument I've ever heard in anything in my entire life.
Yes,
and
it
the
is.
more insane part about it is not only does it have online DRM checks for games you buy physically already, they're pushing you to buy digitally because they're putting the games $10 cheaper on the digital storefront as well so they can keep 100% of the profits. Not only is everything else happening on the lines of them charging you more for bullshit accessories, and not only are they doing everything they can to make you sign up as an MAU for their online service by restricting other services for you, they are literally adding achievements to Nintendo Switch games that are only available if you have the Nintendo Switch 2 version.
You literally could have done this on the Switch 1 at any point. You literally could have done this. But now, out of all times, you add achievements for only the Switch 2. Xbox and PlayStation have been doing this since the 360 and the PS3. And then Steam. But now, with Nintendo, oh, you could have done it during the 3DS. You could have added them on that. You could have added achievements on the Wii U at any point. You could have added in achievements from the Switch with the app. But no! 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 No. No. We have to add in achievements for the exclusive Switch 2 version. Only the Switch 2 version will get these in-app achievements. And they're exclusive for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. This is absolutely the worst thing that Nintendo could have ever done. This is by far the worst thing I've ever seen from them. And I don't think we're done yet, because there's possibly even more of this moronic idiocy that we are finding out from Nintendo. So let's see how much more we can handle, because I'm losing my mind right now. I'm absolutely livid. I am losing my mind because of these morons at Nintendo. I am losing my shit. I am losing my shit here from Nintendo, and they are causing the most stress right now.
So, I just.
No, not gonna be listening to that.
I just can't. I just can't. I really can't. I really can't. Anybody that is coming around being like, oh, I thought Nintendo got a pass. What happened? How come you talk about... Listen, now is not the time. Because anybody that was sitting there talking about support the devs, buy your video games, I always buy physical. Well, start buying physical, baby, because you reap what you have sowed. All those Nintendo walking around talking about like we buy our games, we support the devs. All the PlayStation fanboys calling everybody else broke dollar menu gaming. Now all of a sudden it's a problem. $80? Oh, that's too much money. $90? Whoa. You know what's going to happen? I'll tell you what's going to happen. This is going to be a ripple effect across the entire industry. Why do you think I was so against $60 games? Not $70, $60 games. I didn't want $60 games since the 360 era. And you guys called me cheap, broke, get a job. You need to work. You got to get some money, get your money up. You know why I have money? Because I don't spend it on bullshit.
He's right.
Just because I don't spend money doesn't mean I don't have money. You clowns. But sitting here and watching Nintendo literally backflip themselves into being one of the most greediest companies I've ever seen, doing things that PlayStation doesn't even do to really take over the greed is honestly wild to me. The amount of just reselling games you already purchased to get a different version of so you can play it on your Switch and get the upgraded version. The fact that they're not just giving you access to it directly. You know what would be the funniest thing in my opinion? If the Yuzu and Ryujinx emulators that finished their actual development before they got shut down, if those emulators can just run Switch 2 games, that would be the funniest thing for me. God,
that would
be true so bad. I just want it to be true so bad. That would explain so much as to why they went so hard on those emulators to shut them down. Because if the Switch 2 literally just runs everything else like the Switch 1 does, and it's the same emulator with the same format, the same OS, the same operating system, the same UI, that would make a whole lot of sense.
Yep. That would.
You can find yourself on the way back machine if that turns out to be true. Oh, man. Yar, har, fiddle-dee-dee.
Being a pirate is all right with me.
When you're a pirate, everything's free. You are a pirate. Look, here's the...
Yar, har, fiddly-dee. Being a pirate is all right with me. Do what you want because a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Yeah. And I would pirate their games if this is how Nintendo Switch is going to be for the Switch 2. I would be pirating their shit. If this is how they're going to be pricing their fucking games for a physical or digital, I would be pirating their shit. And I would instead be supporting the indies. I would be supporting the indie devs so hard. Because at least I can give indie devs that deserve the money the support they need. Like with Crypt of the Necrodancer, or, well, their newest game, Rift of the Necrodancer, I've gotten both of those games when I found out that Rift was coming out. And they are adding in collaborations with other indies into their game. They already done it with Super Meat Boy being for free. And then they're adding in DLC to buy Celeste songs. And another one that I did see is Pizza Tower. I would be supporting indie devs way more than Nintendo for what they're doing. $70, $80, $90? No. I don't care if I have the money. I have a job. Why else does it take time for me to make fucking videos? I have a goddamn job. And it's hard enough that I'm seeing games being priced this damn high. 60. I really didn't even know that games were going to be going up that high. 50. That was fine for me, and below. For like more older games. But now as we are within 2025, and as we continue onwards in the course of our life, of history, we are going to be seeing that games are going to be increasing and for their prices, as it started with $70. But now Nintendo is trying to become the next EA and Ubisoft by fucking things around and finding out that they are going to be increasing it to $80, $90, $100, and more. Well, time to pirate their games now, I guess. I guess it's about time we pirate their games. Because it's clear enough that greed just swells within their veins. The greed just oozes out of their veins ever so good and deep. That people would want to rip them out of third-party devs like EA and suckle the blood, or go to their teats and just suckle at their milk to become like them. Do you not think that EA would want to be selling off games that are 80 to 90 bucks or even higher than that? I can guarantee that they would, especially with that new Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I can just see it being over 90 bucks. I could just see it. Yeah, I could definitely see it. And it's gonna be pretty awful. It's gonna be awful. But let's finish things up, yeah?
Deal, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Never sit there and let a company and corporation dictate to you what you should spend on their actual services. You are the customer. You have the money that they want. If they're not giving you the product at a good price, they don't deserve your money.
Literally, vote with your wallet. That's literally what he's saying. Vote with your wallet, vote with your mouth, vote with your eyes to even see if it's even worth it. Vote, but most importantly, vote with your wallet. Vote with your money.
If you work your ass off every single day and they're sitting there saying like, oh, but inflation and we don't know how to budget our budget and we'll make a game, but that doesn't mean that they deserve your money.
He's right.
It doesn't. Until Nintendo figures this out, they're literally sitting there and, in my opinion, shooting themselves in the foot. I don't care how many people...
Nah, it's more like shooting themselves in the foot, then the leg, then they're going to be moving up to the thigh, and they're slowly moving further and further on up until they're 6 feet under.
Want to gaslight you, say things like you're broke, do all these other things. If you feel that is out of your budget, then do not buy that product. There is nothing wrong with doing that specifically. Me, I'm not going to purchase a Switch 2 because I don't feel like there's a need for it, honestly.
I agree.
And all those games that are on that Switch 2 that are exclusive shouldn't be exclusive, especially the From Software games and other games as well. On top of that, I find it really odd and interesting that games like Cyberpunk 2077, Borderlands 4, and all these other major AAA games are just itching to put themselves onto the Switch 2. Yet for some reason now developers are so happy and inclined to optimize their games for a lower-end piece of hardware.
Yeah.
It's almost like they were just lying about the entire thing of having to deal with something that was holding back gaming now, isn't it? That's an interesting thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll damn be sure to do a whole bunch of work to get their games on the Switch 2 now, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments section down below. Do you feel Nintendo is as greedy as I'm saying they are, or do you have a different opinion? Let me know what you guys have to say. If you want to see more of this kind of content, more PC port reviews, gaming news, Steam Deck videos, live streams, and fanboy content every single week.
Yeah, I'm going to give that a like because I honestly agree with what he had to say there. Yeah, I do not believe that all those games, those AAA third-party games, should even be on the Switch, especially with what Nintendo is doing. I do not believe that Dusk Bloods should be exclusive to the Switch 2. It's really going to hurt their player peak or player count. It would be best if it was on all consoles and PC. Yeah, this is literally the biggest biggest sign of greed I'm ever seeing out of Nintendo. This is just 10 times the greed that that EA is going through. It's just so awful. I literally cannot get myself a Switch 2 if this is the way that Nintendo is literally doing this. I mean, Pokemon Legends ZA is already bad enough. I don't even want to get that game. And what we've seen, or what I've seen, and what most other people have seen with the Switch 2 Direct, I literally do not think it's worth it. I'm not gonna buy it. I'd rather get myself an OLED for a Steam Deck. I'd rather get a Steam Deck with OLED. I'd rather get that than a Switch 2. I'm sorry. But that's just how I feel. But what about all of you, the viewers? Do you agree? Do you even think that a Switch 2 is even worth it? What do you even think about the price increases for the Switch 2 games? Because certainly this is not even worth it to me. It's just not. Switch 2 games are just overpriced. They should have kept the game prices to what it should be of the standard. Not this overpriced bullshit. And just imagine how overseas it's going to be for the UK, of Europe and Australia and South America and all that. The different prices. It's insane. But Japan getting the more cheaper version? No. That is disgusting. That is downright atrocious. It's an atrocity. It's a complete backstab. And I will not stand for it. I just won't. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this here. So what do you all think? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed, like it, did not, dislike, do whatever. But I will see you all later. Take care. Peace.